Another press conference happened this week, and this press conference took place down in Texas between Vergil Ortiz and Erickson Lubin. These two junior middleweights will collide on November 8th in Fort Worth, Texas. You and I agree, this is a great fight. Like, Erickson Lubin is one of those guys that talks the talk and walks the walk. If Erickson Lubin says he will fight somebody, Erickson Lubin goes out and fights that guy. His resume at 154 pounds is outstanding. Hasn't won them all. Got beat up pretty good by Sebastian Fundora. Maybe got a gift against Ramos in that fight he won, was it last year? But he is not afraid to take on all comers, and I think he's facing the same type of guy in Vergil Ortiz. I think this is going to be an outstanding action fight, back and forth between two guys that can punch, and I don't think I can guarantee a knockout in it, but I can guarantee it's going to be a war. What do you think?
I can guarantee a knockout, and I can guarantee it doesn't see the second half of the fight, and I can guarantee that Ortiz will probably be the one that's doing the knocking out because Erickson Lubin is damaged goods. I try to get a better word here because I have respect for him and his trainer, Kevin Cunningham, and I have respect for the challenges and the big steps, the big opponents that Lubin try to face. But sometimes when you're too brave, man, you cut your career short. There's another guy who's not going to win a championship. He's damaged goods. He's a sucker for that uppercut. Charlo knocked him out in one round. When you don't take a physical fight and you get knocked out by one punch, you can come back from that. But then that Fundora fight, that was a physical beatdown. They had to stop that fight in the corner because of the way that his face looked. He looked like he had a mask on. You don't come back from punishment like that. You don't come back from embarrassments like that and beatdowns like that. That takes more out of your confidence than it does out of your physicality. So Lubin, lucky for him, is a big puncher. So big punchers can come back faster than most. But that embarrassment lingers. The fact that they had to stop the fight in the corner, though, the way his face looked, he looked like a meme. Mannix. He looked like a meme. I have seen faces swollen like that, but it looked like a character, like someone you draw. And whenever you take beatings like that, embarrassments like that, and then still get knocked out, the fight gets taken out of you. You get shell shocked and you get gun shy. And I don't care how hard you punch. And Lubin is a puncher, and from that southpaw stance, and he was a mean dude, man. Those beatings will catch up to you. He's just one of these PTSD warriors that just can't muster up the strength or the courage to go out there and lay it on the line anymore. So this is going to be another beat down for Lubin. I don't see it passing the first half of the fight.
I get what you're saying, but the Fundora loss was, almost 2 years ago? Since then, Erickson Lubin has won 3 fights in a row, and 2 of those fights were against pretty good opponents. He went up against Jesus Ramos, who is a heavy-handed guy at 154 pounds. Went the distance with him. I thought that fight was kind of controversial. A lot of people did, but he went the distance and got a decision against a guy that can really punch in the 154-pound division. His next fight, he beats Ardriel Holmes, a guy that was undefeated coming into that fight. Kid out of Detroit, gets a good win there. So it's not like he's bounced back against absolute nobodies. And Erickson Lubin is the true junior middleweight in this fight. Vergil Ortiz has had a lot of success now, or in recent months, getting that win, coming off the deck to beat Sergey Boachuk. The win over Madrimov was fantastic. I would say that's probably the best win of Vergil Ortiz's career. But Erickson Lubin, I think, is going to be a different animal than anything that Vergil has faced up to this point. Erickson Lubin, I think, is going to test Vergil in ways that Boachuk sort of did. I think Lubin can do it at a higher level. I think Lubin is heavier-handed than Boachuk. Lubin has fought at that level. You're right. Look, he could be a little bit chinny in this situation.
And that's the difference. I'm waiting for you to finish, but that's the difference.
No, can you argue that Ortiz has maybe a chin issue after getting knocked down a couple of times against Boachuk?
No,
got knocked down twice.
Vergil Ortiz does not have a chin issue. Whenever you're that explosive physically and you're always going for the knockout and you're loading up on every punch, it's not that you're chinny because you're getting over aggressive and you're exposing yourself offensively. So you don't need much of a shot in order to drop a train like that. So when Boachuk dropped him, when Madrimov kind of caught him with some shots, the fight that really brought my attention is the Kavaliauskas fight. Kavaliauskas is short, compact puncher, and he was able to hurt Ortiz. But then Ortiz came back, took that shot, and got him out of there with the body shots. It's a chin that's going to betray the hammer Lubin, all right? It's not going to be the power or the experience. he might be prepared for this fight. They're going to bring a game plan. Vergil Ortiz is vulnerable. There is a way to outbox him. There's been signs of that, but he's not going to keep up with the punch resistance. That's going to be the difference here. Lubin can't take a punch, and then once that goes, if you don't have this, then everything else is going to fail. He's not going to be able to take the punch, and because of that, I don't see him getting past the 6th round.
Yeah, look, I like Ortiz to win this fight. I also think he wins it by knockout, but I think Erickson Lubin is going to take him to a place he's never been before. I think this is going to be a physical fight for as long as it lasts. I think Ortiz is probably going to get knocked down in this fight, but I think his relentlessness.
You are mental. You are insane if you think Ortiz is going to be in trouble in this fight.
You think he's not going to be in trouble? Would you define him as being in trouble in the Boachuk fight?
Oh, absolutely. And he was in trouble. He was in trouble with Kalalauskas. And
you think Boachuk is better than Lubin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think Lubin's damaged, man. I just don't think he has the confidence to engage and load up on shots and be confident with the power like he used to be when he was hammering opponents. That guy's gone, and that's what happens when you take beatings. That's what happens.
But Sergio, he's fighting. He's fighting real guys along the way. I mean, Erickson Lubin. I mean, he's got some quality wins on his resume, and he's got a lot of quality opponents. I think you're underselling the difficulty of Erickson Lubin coming to this fight. You're underselling his ability to hurt Ortiz. I'm not saying he's going to knock him out, but I think he's going to put Ortiz down during this fight at one point.
After we're done with this podcast, and I recommend every listener out there to pause this podcast and Google Erickson Lubin's face after Sebastian Fundora.
Okay. That's not.
All right, now come back and talk to me. That was, what's a good word for like a mask that's not a mask? Because that's what it was. It was scary. It looked like a caricature. He looked like that meme that they do of Martin, Martin Lawrence, that meme where he's all beat up at the head. That's how Lubin looked, man. You don't come back from beatings like that. You don't come back from that. As a fighter, you need false confidence, even though it's ignorance sometimes. It's like, no, I can excuse that knockout. I can excuse that beating. I was sick. I had an injury. You can't excuse first round knockouts, brutal ones like Charlo, which was an uppercut. And you can't forgive Fundora dropping him early with an uppercut. Lubin is a sucker for uppercuts. Vergil Ortiz has a big uppercut, especially when it goes down to the body. There's going to be a beatdown, a one-sided explosive beatdown. And Vergil's going to be at the good end of it.
All right. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun one way or the other, November 8th down in Texas.